Blessings, everyone. This is Pastor Reina from Ignite the Fire Church here in North Delta, BC. And I have just a slight teaching for you today. And it's regarding the practice of yoga. And I know that maybe a lot of you have heard about this, or maybe are thinking about doing yoga for exercise, or doing this kind of thing as a therapy or exercise. And I just want to bring a little awareness to you what yoga really is. Now I am bringing this awareness to you as a Christian, and if you are a Christian yourself, we are going to talk about why it might not be a good idea to be doing that and to be involved in it. Yoga is actually a religion. It's an Eastern religion. It's come from India, and in India, yoga is used as a religion. So what does this have to do with you as a Christian? Well, let me explain to you. When you practice yoga, when you do yoga, you have to get into certain positions because that's what the practice is. When you do yoga, you get into certain positions. Every time you get into a position, that position opens you up to receive from a different spirit. So for each position, you open your spirit to a different spirit. So, and there are very many different positions, meaning that you are opening yourself so many different times to so many different spirits. Every time you put yourself in a position, then a new spirit enters you, and they don't leave because you have actually invited them in. It's basically, the position is basically an invitation for the spirit to come and to reside in you. Now, through this practice, there is one specific demon that can come in, and it's a very strong demon. And for Christians, this demon is not it's not good, because it actually imitates Holy Spirit, imitates the manifestations of Holy Spirit. So when you get into a specific position, you are inviting these demons, but in most particular, this specific demon, we call the Kundalini. The Kundalini spirit actually comes and it wraps itself around the base of your spine, and it wraps itself around, and it comes around the neck to the forehead. And so that the head and what Kundalini looks like in the spirit is actually a serpent that wraps itself around, and the head is actually at the front of the forehead. So what happens is, when you first begin doing yoga, people experience joy, peace, and a lot of energy, which is what a lot of people talk about. Oh, I have a lot of energy since I started doing yoga. I have a lot of energy, and I feel very peaceful, and I just feel a lot of love. And basically, that's what the spirit does. It basically gives you all these things to make you feel good, to want to keep doing it. So the more you do it, eventually, as you carry on, it doesn't happen right away. Sometimes it happens maybe 3 months in, maybe 6 months in. It could be even up to a year into it, that you begin to feel run down. You begin to feel depleted of energy, lethargic, and not having a whole lot of energy. You get depressed, and you don't know why you're feeling so depressed, and and you lack peace. Well, this spirit has basically, for whatever this spirit has given you, this spirit has now taken from you. So it becomes like a leech, and it leaches out from you that essence until you feel completely depleted and not knowing why. Now, these are things that even if you went to see a doctor cannot fix. It's not medically treated because it's a spiritual. So people that get involved in yoga, they don't realize that they're actually opening themselves up. Now, there are places where sometimes even churches offer it as part of their programs. I know, Like I know there are churches that will say, oh, we have yoga in the morning. And I'm not here to condemn these churches for doing this. Chances are they're doing it ignorantly because they don't know. They don't know that this can actually harm you. And as believers, it can actually, do a lot of damage. So it is important to be educated and to understand a little bit more regarding what it is that you do and when you do it. My husband and I have a deliverance center here in Vancouver, in the city of Langley, BC, where we do deliverance. And we have seen a lot of cases where people come with this specific demon and other demons related to the yoga. And so we minister to them and they get set free. Now, they don't know that this particular thing that they were doing was actually causing them harm spiritually. And there was one time where we had a lady where we said, she came and she was doing yoga, and then I says, hey, you need to stop doing that, because she wanted deliverance. But if she was still doing what was causing her harm, there was no point on continuing with deliverance because the door was wide open, right? Why continue to do something if you're going to continue to do what you're doing? Then us trying to set her free will actually defeat the purpose. So she said, well, can we continue? And I says, no, we cannot continue with the ministry until you stop doing what you're doing. Well, and I said, so we all leave it at this, and you can go and, figure this out. And because she felt that there was nothing wrong with doing yoga. And I says, okay, well, if you don't feel that there is anything wrong with you doing yoga, then it's fine, continue doing it. I'm not here to tell her not to do it. So it had to be her own personal choice. So she decided not to do it anymore. And when she decided, she went to the class, and when she was sitting in the class now, by this point, because she's already started a deliverance healing process within herself, a spiritual healing process within herself, that when she came to know, when she was in the class, she came to know she just no longer felt the same way, because she knew by conviction of Holy Spirit, she knew that what she was doing was actually wrong, and she was opening herself up now to a harmful spiritual realm. So she finally said, no, I am not going to do it anymore, and she left her yoga class, and that we were able to continue with her deliverance, and she felt a lot better. So this is for you to know. And if you know anyone who is practicing yoga or doing yoga as exercise, and I know that sometimes someone may say to you, oh, well, this therapist told me that I should be doing it, that this is good for me. If this has been recommended to you, or someone that this has been recommended to by a therapist, by a doctor, maybe there are other ways that they can do therapy without having to do this particular to enter in this to do yoga, because it's not beneficial, mainly if you're a Christian, mainly if your spirit is for God, because you're basically opening yourself up to a demonic realm without knowing. All right, well, I want to leave you guys with that, and for you guys to ponder on. And because sometimes the things that we don't know can harm us, and now so hopefully this is going to be helpful to you, and maybe you can use this to help someone else. Blessings. Love you all. Bye-bye.